January 8th,
Wow.
2022. Yeah.
So my daddy would have been 70, like 8 years old yesterday. I think maybe even older. It's crazy how time goes. And a lot of times I always think, man, if I had a time machine and I can go back in time, what would I do? And you think about all the things you could.
Oh, yeah.
But it always comes down to money for me. How would I change what I invest in?
Yeah.
Because even right now in life, you've got a couple paths you can choose, or many paths, and depending on where you want to be, you choose that path, and hopefully that gets you there.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So in life, you tend to choose a path if what your goal is to have more money. You kind of want to follow a formula that gets you there, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, let me ask you this. So if you had a time machine, and the time machine only worked and could go back to one day in time.
Oh, one day in time.
One particular date. It's like, well, I can't go anywhere. I can only go back to how about June 20th, 1983.
Wow.
Yeah.
June 20th, 1983, I was still in high school.
June 20th, 1993.
1993.
June 20th, 1993.
I got a couple of puppies and I'm broke.
Couple of puppies, you're broke.
I got a couple because I chose that path down the road with marriage and kids.
Well, let's say you woke up in the morning, you looked at the Wall Street Journal, right?
Yeah.
The dawn of the internet just happened. And then you're
Is
like...
that when Al Gore invented it?
Al Gore invented it back in the 80s.
It was the information superhighway.
Information superhighway.
Yeah.
So...
Superhighway.
Well, 93 didn't even have the internet. It was just America Online or CompuServe.
Right.
So it was just one of those two. The pager.
The pager.
The pager.
Yeah.
The pager.
Yeah.
Somebody calls you,
Yeah.
you have to go find a payphone to call that number back.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
so, yeah.
Unless you punched a number in there, you could tell them, when you get home, just like send me a bogus message on the collect call. Did you ever do those? When you get home, so you don't have to make a long call. You'll get a collect call. Tell them it's from Dave. Then you know I got there. So I saw Dr. Fauci in an interview.
Yeah.
Some years ago, where he's talking about gain of function research.
Gain of function for batteries.
He was saying you should risk essentially a pandemic because of the benefits that you get from gain of function research, which is where you take like an animal type virus, and you teach it. That's not the kind of thing you do in Virginia. You do that in a place like Wuhan, China.
Wuhan, China.
I saw the interview.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw
this
him.
was a Fauci interview?
This is a Fauci interview.
Oh, jeez. Where do we find that one?
And
how old is it?
And the benefits
And they did.
far outweigh the risk.
I am going to post a link to that video that he found right there for everyone watching.
Yeah, so. Joe Rogan. It's on... No, actually, it was on Australian 60 Minutes.
Oh, really?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
We should watch that together. This chick she's hot, and she did a good interview.
Okay.
About how it got out of China.
Well, we've been having this whole thing, and if you're watching this, like, it's 2022 right now, we're going through the coronavirus pandemic. Let's say you're watching this in 100 years from now. All right, this whole coronavirus thing that we're going through is just, I don't even know what, if you had to describe it in one word, I would just say just complete chaos. Well, we're in Florida on the weather is better. We don't even know there's a pandemic going on.
Yeah. Well, actually, when we had the virus, we kind of stayed here on the boat and hung out, and friends came over and visited.
Yeah, we
what do you call it when you put something in a capsule and you launch it into the future by hiding it somewhere?
Oh, what, time capsule?
This could be our time capsule.
Well,
What's the name for it?
Yeah, no, I mean, somebody's going to look at that and be like, what were things like in 2022? Just like the same way we are about what was things like in 1922.
So I think the bottom line, there's people like us that accept that this virus is here to stay. Suddenly, you can't get testing, because if you could get testing, then you can quantify how many people exactly he did not shut down the virus for.
Yeah, no.
Have you figured that out?
We don't want to do that.
We don't have those things available. In fact, a couple of months ago, he said that they were on order, but truthfully, they haven't even placed an order.
Yeah.
A message out to a certain senator from New York yesterday who has their city in lockdown, that came to Florida to vacation and was seen with the masses without a mask.
Oh, yeah. Not a senator, representative.
I beg your pardon.
Representative. So maybe a future senator, maybe future president.
Could be the presidentress.
We don't. We don't know at this. That the entire point of the office of the president was not to have a career politician that just climbed the ranks of city council representative, state rep, congressional rep. Oh, eventually I'm running for president. It was somebody who was a regular citizen that presides over Congress.
Right, yeah.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
There's close to 1 million people with adverse reactions to it now.
That's the scary part.
The vaccine. And if you already have the Rona and you take the shot, you're 4 times more likely, actually 2 to 4 times more likely to have an adverse reaction to the Corona shot, which is before the Supreme Court right now because they're trying to mandate.
Well, yeah, because this coronavirus vaccine is gene therapy. So,
Who's Gene?
And then,
So you can get shot in the head, go there, die obviously of a gunshot wound, but you die with the corona.
With coronavirus.
You're gonna.
Yeah, where are they getting like 300,000?
So the United States actually gives money that went to the Wuhan lab that when Trump figured it out, literally cut it off.
Yeah.
But they'd been doing the gain of function research, and my guess is, I don't think they meant for it to leak out, but somebody had a couple cocktails maybe one day, and
there was
it got out because the ground zero patients started there, and it's amazing how many people literally disappeared from the People's Republic of China after they tried to blow the whistle on it. They literally disappeared. They can't be found.
Well, I mean, it's either the Chinese government, they go and kill them,
right,
or there is like this secret island somewhere in China that's got a bunch of people disappeared.
not so much.
All right, we'll start up here in the V berth. Right, we'll start up here in the V berth. Okay, this is where the sleeping happens.
This is a
look at that
20-year-old.
20 years old. This is the galley area. Okay, we got look at that. We got the sink right here.
Wow.
Okay, we've got a burner right here. Right, we got the burner under there.
You want to burn one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, easy cleanup. Also, look at this refrigerator. Then back here we got the quarter berth. Okay, you can sleep back here, or you can have cocktail parties back here.
That's the VIP suite.
This is the head right here. Okay,
and this makes into a bed over here.
Head with a shower. Here's the rest of it back here. And then you got Miss Chloe over there. She's doing her little nap time. Yeah, this is...
So actually, a lot of people think it's unattainable, but actually, if you pinch and squeeze in a few places, it's very much attainable. It's like if you're not paying for a $3,000 mortgage, because you bought a home within your means, maybe you'll have some spare money left over.
Maybe you got some spare cash.
Maybe you drove your last car for 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a thing in the future. People are going to live on boats.
A lot more people.
It makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Well, I got somebody, they got a question for you guys,
Okay.
So they want to know, so let's see here. So I'm 30 years old. I'm working a desk job right now with a Fortune 100 company. Got all the company benefits, and my problem is that I'm just very unhappy here, and I don't find any fulfillment in my work. What do I do?
That's an interesting question because everybody finds fulfillment differently.
Ah, okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, I was thinking about that just this morning. That. Because the guys at work were telling me that you were really killing it. What is it that motivates you? You must be really busting your ass. And actually, I think I work just a little bit harder than them.
There you go.
I work a little bit harder. But my advice, because we do a weekly meeting, we all get together on Zoom, and I think find a hobby that excites you. Something that almost takes your breath away that you have to do every weekend. Make it a little bit pricey. And go for it and bust your ass during the week and just relax and kick it on the weekend.
Let that be your motivator.
I think that should be your motivator. Boating takes my breath away.
There you go. There you go.
I love it.
You get the fulfillment with it.
You get the fulfillment. And
let me know when you want my answer.
I think when you have the right motivation and you work towards it, you're gonna bump into success. You can't help but do it.